This episode of the Mad Rush podcast.
As you know, the college process is so different than from when we were going through it. It's just like anxiety inducing. It's nuts. So they're just excited to help these incoming students, and they want to help them get the real unscripted take on everything and hear about, safety and party scene, finding friends, just the things that you can't really ask on one of those official tours.
Welcome to the Mad Rush podcast. I'm Trisha Addicks, the original sorority rush consultant. While the stories I have to share are nothing short of astonishing, this podcast goes beyond the wild client tales and sorority life. I'll be engaging with fascinating guests from both within and outside the Greek world, uncovering the surprising connections that bind us all together. Join me for a journey that's as entertaining as it is enlightening. Welcome to Mad Rush. Y'all, I am so excited. My book, The Rush Bible, is available for pre-order from Simon & Schuster. It's coming out next May, but you can order it now, and it's going to be great for anyone who's considering going through sorority rush. This is the book for you. You can order it today. The link is in the show notes, and it's also on my Instagram at Rush with Confidence. And I can't wait to get this great information on how to crush sorority rush out to all of you. Anyway, thank you for listening, and I appreciate you. So today I have a really cool guest. Her name is Jackie Biscotti. And wait, that's like the cookie.
Yep.
Are you Italian? Isn't that an Italian cookie?
It is. Yep. I mean, it's twice baked.
We could go so many places with that.
Yes.
But Jackie is a mom, among other things, and the founder of Campus Wink. So I want to hear all about this. But first, tell me about you. Where'd you grow up? What'd you do? All the things.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. This is going to be fun.
This is my first podcast ever, so.
I'm going to interrupt you, and I'll do that a lot.
Please do.
Just FYI, because I think that I have things to say every time somebody starts talking. The very first podcast I was on was this guy named Paul Ollinger. He's now a good friend of mine and sort of a mentor, but I had the best time on my very first podcast. Like, it was so fun to me. So I'm excited. I think that we're going to have fun. Don't be nervous. Just, okay. It's just conversation, and it's all about connecting. And I love this. I love that we connected on the gram, and I'm excited for people to hear about your company and what you're doing and how you're doing it. So,
well, thank you.
Of course. So, yes. So where did you grow up, et cetera?
So I grew up in Chagrin Falls, Ohio. It's a suburb of Cleveland. Do you know it?
Well, so my producer, when you sent over, so y'all, when I get a guest, we send them a questionnaire, and the good ones always I'm just kidding, those of you who didn't fill it out, but the good ones fill it out, and it makes the conversation easier because I can sort of know a little bit. And my producer said he won 2 film festivals there, and he loves it.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
My producer that you just met, Collier, Landry.
Yes. Wow. That is so cool. I love that.
Yeah. So talk about Chagrin Falls, because this is like Americana at its best, it sounds like.
Definitely. So actually, we did get a little bit of national recognition recently because Taylor Swift went there for lunch, which apparently was the biggest deal because, as you know, Travis Kelce is from Cleveland Heights. Is it Cleveland Heights or Shaker Heights? One of the heights. And so his hometown is near Chagrin, so they went to Chagrin for lunch because it's a very picturesque kind of hallmark town. It's very walkable, and it's got a cute main street, and there's a gazebo, and then there's a huge waterfall running through town, and there's a little place called the Popcorn Shop, and it's just, nobody believes me when I tell them this, but it's the best town in the United States, and I just had the best childhood growing up there.
It sounds like idyllic, like
Definitely.
The greatest Hallmark card. You said that, but a Hallmark card
Yes.
setting, like just perfect.
And there's all these really fun traditions. And probably the most well-known tradition is that during October leading up to Halloween, everyone throughout the country, you know, they put pumpkins outside, jack-o'-lanterns outside on their front porch.
Right.
So we do that. But the only difference is that the juniors and the seniors go out at night and we steal everyone's pumpkin and we stockpile them. And then one night, I think it's up to one of the seniors, they just say that it's pumpkin roll night. And so all of the upperclassmen meet at the top of this huge hill in our town called Grove Hill. And we just throw all the pumpkins down the hill and slide down on sleds and recycling bins and whatever else there is. And this happens at like 2 a.m. And
this is like a movie.
It really is. It's a blast. We all pool together our money to clean it up because it's a big mess. There's pumpkin guts everywhere. Usually somebody goes to the hospital and there's always something that happens, but it's so fun. And that's just one of the traditions in Chagrin. It's just the coolest, best little town.
So how many people live in Chagrin?
Whew, that's a good question. Not many. I would throw out a number, but it'll probably be wrong. So I'm not even going to go there.
Yeah, I don't like to stump people, but is there more than one high school? Because you said juniors and seniors.
No. In my graduating class, there was 200, maybe 210. And I think it's still
And that's the only school.
Number. Yep. We have, its own little exempted school district. Yeah, we have one elementary school, one intermediate school, and the high school.
Oh, wow. That's really cool. And by the way, you're a natural at this. You're a great storyteller. So yeah.
Oh my gosh. And am I talking too loudly?
No, you're great.
Are you sure? Okay.
No, you're awesome.
Feel free to tell me
No, you're good. You're great. After Chagrin, what'd you do?
So then I went to the University of Maryland.
You got to tell the story of how you picked the University of Maryland.
So I applied to about 11 schools throughout the country, and they were all over. I applied to the University of Maryland, Lewis and Clark, Colorado.
Which, interrupting you, I am a direct descendant of Lewis.
No way.
Yeah, my grandmother's maiden name was Lewis.
Whoa.
Yep. We're very proud of that in my family.
I would be.
And I recently just met one of my favorite people in the world. She's a young woman. And she's just started dating this guy, and his name is Lewis Clark.
Wow.
He said that his parents, when they were when his mother gave birth, like their best friends, which is a group of couples, and I actually know all of them. They like had a bunch of cocktails and went to the hospital, and they named him Lewis, but they didn't make the connection. So like literally every single person he meets is like, wait, Lewis Clark? And so anyway.
He has to have that conversation on repeat.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I interrupted you, but I told you that was going to happen.
Well, I kind of did that too because my oldest his name is Jackson, and everyone that I'm close with calls me Jack. And so I didn't realize that I named him Jack's son. So kind of another, I guess you just don't get it until later sometimes.
Right, exactly.
So I applied to all of these schools throughout the country, Boston, NYU, American University, and I had no idea which one I wanted to go to. I got denied by one school, Colorado College. So
boo, Colorado College.
Exactly.
Missed out.
Yep, they did. They're lost. And so my mom and I went to the Chagrin Falls Public Library, and we put all of the schools in a hat, which were at that point 10 schools. And we went to the library. We prayed about it because that's super important to us, prayer and faith. We picked out of a hat, and the first one was the University of Maryland. And then we crumpled them back up, put them back into the hat, chose again, University of Maryland. Did the same thing, jumbled them up a lot that time because I wanted to go to NYU. So I'm like, shake them up. So put them back in, pulled it out, University of Maryland. And then a fourth time it happened. So
there's a sign if I've ever seen one.
Exactly.
I'm all about a sign, and that's a sign. Exactly.
That's what we thought. So we were like, I'm going to Maryland. So I went, and I did love it. I still don't know why I was supposed to go there.
You don't know what the sign was for?
No, but I still think one day I will find out. I'm certain that I will realize why I had to go to the University of Maryland, but it was great. I loved it.
I think you will find out, and I think it's going to be I think something's going to come with this new venture that you're doing. But so first we have to just confirm, were you or were you not in a sorority? You're on Mad Rush.
Yep, I was in a sorority. I was in AOPI, and I think I lasted one semester. And it wasn't saying anything about AOPI, and everyone that I met was great. The rush process, the recruitment process at Maryland was a lot of fun. I had just happened to meet my husband. He wasn't my husband then, but we met right when I was rushing. And so I kind of, even at the beginning, was half in, half out.
Right.
And then I still committed to the process and was initiated. But then I started visiting him. He was living in Chicago. And this was when Southwest, it was so cheap. You used to be able to have those buddy passes and you could fly from BWI to Midway for $60.
Oh, wow.
So I would fly there and so I was just kind of into visiting him. So I wasn't able to make all the meetings. And so I went inactive and I dropped it, but it was fun.
It sounds like that was the right path for you. And, that's something I always talk about. Not everybody's journey looks, not even slightly alike. Everybody's got their own path and what makes, works for them. So that's awesome. And so I'm assuming that's your now husband?
Yep. We met when I was 19 and now we've just celebrated our 20th anniversary.
Wow. You're a baby. Okay. Oh, wait, I forgot. You're in Atlanta. You're in Milton.
Yeah. We're right down the street from each other. You're in Brookhaven, right?
Yeah. I just remembered that. Oh, okay. So yes, oh Lord, you played tennis a lot in Milton, huh?
Yep.
So, all right. So talk about
a way of life
after college and sort of what led you to do what you're doing.
After college, we went on to have 4 children and moved around a lot for my husband's company and his job. And we went from Maryland we went back to Chagrin Falls, Ohio. Then we went to Topanga Canyon, which is near Malibu in California.
Nice.
Then we went to Bainbridge Island, Washington.
No way. Okay. This connections thing is for real. So our best friends, my husband's best friend from growing up, and one of my best friends they started dating in college, and as did my husband and I. Anyway, they live in Bainbridge Island.
No way. What are their names?
Mike and Marissa Maroney. And we went out and visited them last summer. My husband's been a few times for, what's the golf club there?
Is it Windermere or?
Yeah, wait, I think so. Anyway, my husband has played in the member guest with him. But Bainbridge is so cool.
It was so cool. It was, I cried when my husband said, like, we're moving on to the next place for his job. And I was devastated because I loved it there. I had 2 kids. We had the best setup. We would walk everywhere. We would just hop on the ferry, go over to Seattle, see orcas. But the next place we moved was Laguna Beach, so California. So I was sad for like a day.
And then you're like, okay, forget Bainbridge Island. Yeah. So when we went out and visited them, so obviously I am in Atlanta and I love to wear a cute outfit. And literally I brought a bunch of cute outfits to Bainbridge and they filmed me because I was wearing like a giant t-shirt with words on it, which is not my jam. And I was wearing like just shorts and Birkenstocks, which if y'all know anything about me, that is not me. But it was hilarious because I was like, why would I actually dress in any? I didn't dress in any of the clothes I brought. I just borrowed a t-shirt and shorts and that's what I wore because that's what everybody wore. It's the most laid back place ever.
Yes. And typically it's drizzling. So
yeah, it was beautiful when we were there, but I do know it's typically drizzling. Marissa moves to California. She's a big horse. She does dressage. And so she goes to California, like she's in California for a couple months right now. So she is also would be excited about Laguna Beach.
Yes, it was great. We joined the parents club there and met some amazing people. It's such a cool, artsy surfer vibe. And as you know, just absolutely stunning. We just loved it so much. And I had my third child while we were there. And then it was time to move on again with my husband's job. So we moved to Anna Maria Island, Florida.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is near.
Are you allowed to say what he does? These are very different. You don't have to just say anything. I just
no, he works for GE Healthcare currently.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But he's always those were all different companies. So he worked for Toshiba Medical, Siemens. He's worked for one of his companies actually brought us here, and now he is working for GE Healthcare.
Gotcha.
But we were just always open to adventuring and moving around. And whenever something popped up that was a great fit, we just didn't even really think about it. We just went for it. And so
that's a cool lifestyle. I think that would be like so stressful for me just because of the way I am, but it sounds very cool.
My best friend, she can't deal with how it's beyond her.
Yeah, no, this would be beyond me. Like, so beyond.
We liked it. So we were on Anna Maria Island. That's where I had my fourth child, Lorenzo.
I love that name.
We had to move again. We moved to outside of Philly to Wayne, which is on the main line. It's kind of near Radnor and Villanova. Everywhere we've lived, I've absolutely loved. And I loved Wayne, Pennsylvania. And then from there, we moved to Evergreen, Colorado with my husband's job. We bought a llama ranch, which was just very random.
Oh my God. If my friend Missy, who's the mother of Lewis Clark's girlfriend, Missy hears this, she's obsessed with llamas, but she's actually in the Galapagos Islands right now. So she won't hear it.
Wow.
She won't hear this, but.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't even know anything about llamas, but there were no homes for sale when we moved there in the dead of December. And we only could find a rental for a very short period of time. So we had to figure it out. We saw this cool property and we just reached out to the people living there to see if they would at all be interested in selling it to us. And just, I guess, like the Maryland thing, it was kind of all faded, and they were a couple in their 80s, and they had built the home. They had brought in all of the llamas, but they were ready to go because Evergreen's at about 8,000 feet up in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. And they were just ready to go down in elevation. They were 80 plus years old. So they were like, sure. So they sold us the llama ranch, and they were like, whatever you do, don't add any extra animals because you're in the Rocky Mountains. There are so many predators here. You don't want to believe us. Like, we've lived here since 1981. Don't add extra animals. So we were like, okay. So we thought it would be really cool to have a hobby ranch, and we quickly added all the extra animals. We got goats and chickens and pigs and peacocks and.
Wait, even though they told you not to?
Yep. We were not smart. And and it was so fun. We ended up living there for 8 years, and we did the llamas, and we tried our best to, keep everything alive. But they were right. There were bears and there were mountain lions, and they were very attracted to the sound of all of our baby goats. And so there's a lot of stories that went on there. But it was fun raising the 4 kids there, and Evergreen is an incredible, amazing place. We loved it. But yes, we had to rehome a lot of the animals because they were bringing mountain lions and bears.
Yeah, you should have listened to the 80-plus-year-olds.
Yes.
Just saying. Yep. So then you're now in Milton.
Okay, yes, I'm so sorry.
No, there's nothing to be sorry for. I mean, it's very fascinating. I've lived like 2 places, so please don't kid yourself.
Well, you live in a great place. I love it. After Evergreen, my husband's job moved us here to Atlanta. And I love it, even after living in all of those amazing places. And my best friend always makes fun of me. She's like, you always say wherever you live is the best place to live in the country. And that may be true, but I love Atlanta. I think it's...
Well, you also live in kind of an idyllic part of Atlanta. She lives in Milton, which is a suburb. And it's really nice.
It's kind of there's horse farms and just a lot of rolling hills and land. And it's just such a great family vibe. It's very diverse, especially coming from the mountains of Colorado,
right?
Which was not diverse at all. And I think it's great here. There's just so many different people and cultures and religions and ways of life. And it just leads to such a vibrant, rich existence. And the climate's great. You can get to, anywhere you want to go very quickly.
Yeah. Somebody and I were talking about that the other day. I was talking about how much we take it for granted that we can just fly.
Get anywhere
quickly. Okay. So
Okay. Oh yes. So let's get to the point of the story. So after, raising my kids, and because we traveled a lot, I never really had a big career of my own. I was kind of home with the kids on this llama ranch with all these animals, trying to keep everything alive. And I did have little part-time jobs. So then my first two went off to college, and I was helping them through that process. And I got really passionate, I guess, about the whole college admissions process. And I started reading all of these Reddit forums and parent college themed Facebook groups. And I just kind of really educated myself while getting my first two through the process and into colleges that they loved. And then my younger two, my high schooler is a junior, and then I have an 8th grader. And so they're kind of getting older. They don't need me as much. And so I was kind of, again, praying, like, what do I do next in my life? Like, I need to do something. And after talking to another one of my best friends, who is an independent college counselor, she was planning an itinerary for one of her clients in the SEC schools. And my oldest goes to Alabama. My daughter goes to Auburn. And so I was like, if your client comes here, we can just hook them up with one of my children's friends, and they can get like a real VIP unscripted tour, and just have them throw him like $50, $100. And you'll get, like, in addition to the official tour, you'll have a really great unscripted take, and you can ask him any questions. And then I was like, wait a minute, this needs to be just available to everyone at all times. So we just, the idea kind of just came, and we found a couple of investors who liked the idea. And
so who's we? Is this you and your best friend?
Yes, exactly. So, and she's one of the investors. When I say we, I mean my best friend Mandy and I. Hi, Mandy. If you're going to watch this. She lives out in Colorado.
Is she the one who says that you always love where you live, think that's the best?
Yes.
We have that in common too. Whenever I'm doing something, like, I'm all in, like, this is great. And then when I move on, then that's the next thing is great.
Right. And she's like, I want you to go, like, I'm not going to say anywhere because I don't want to be offensive to anyone. But she's like, if you lived maybe in this area, I don't think you'd be saying that. And I'm like, who knows? Maybe I would.
So you just recently launched this, right?
At the time of this airing, I don't know if it will have launched yet, but as of today, it hasn't launched. So my developer is just putting the finishing touches on the platform, and the full site will launch in 2.5 weeks, like end of January, beginning of February 2026. But we've already recruited over 300 college guides from over 120 colleges throughout the nation.
And so how'd you recruit them? I'm interested.
So the reason I kind of did talk about moving around the country so much is because whenever we'd go somewhere new, we'd get really involved in the community and parent groups and just meeting people. Because of that, I just kind of developed a big network throughout the country. And I just leaned mostly on that network, as well as I've got 2 kids in college, and built the network.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's exactly how I get my information for, I don't ever share who, but so it's very different. But I have a huge network, and college kids are awesome. They're just, and they're so dang
amazing.
smart. They're smart.
Yes.
They're like worldly. They're really go-getters. It's really different than when I was there, when I was in college. I found some pictures, and I'll have to give one to Collier, my producer, and tell him to put it up with this. But I mean, I'm like fat, like smoking a cigarette, all the things. And then I'm like looking at them, drinking beer on a Tuesday or whatever, Reuniti on ice on a Tuesday. And then I look at these people, and they're like, have their emotional support water bottles and they're going running with their friends. And,
So
I'm
cool.
generalizing, but all I'm saying is these kids have got it going on and they are the future of, obviously they're the future of our future leaders, but so many of them are leaders now,
Yeah. They're the coolest demographic. I just love that age. They aren't quite cynical yet about things, and they're just excited, and they've got so much energy and intelligence, and they're just, very on trend of what's going on culturally, politically, and that's what has surprised me most about recruiting so far, because they do have to fill out an application. And within that application, we ask them, like, what are you most excited about being a Campus Wink guide? Like, what can you bring to this platform? And their responses are just...
Oh, I bet they're fascinating.
I can't tell you how many times I cried just reading these. They all are so excited to help. And they're like, I remember what it was like for me. I mean, some of them, it was the year before, 2 years ago. It hasn't been that long, but they're just like, I want to be able to help people because I remember it. As you know, the college process is so different than from when we were going through it. It's just like anxiety inducing. It's nuts. So they're just excited to help these incoming students, and they want to help them get the real unscripted take on everything and hear about, safety and party scene, finding friends, just the things that you can't really ask on one of those official tours.
Right.
So,
yeah, that's super cool. And I love that those responses made you cry, because I do. I cry a lot when I see the heart that these people have, these kids have, and the concern for others. And it goes very much along with what I do, which is really just the need to connect and to find your people and to understand the way to do that. And that's what you're giving them. And
yep, it's all about connection. I agree. And
so I have this, I say this pretty much every time I record a podcast, because it always comes back to that. And I don't know if you've ever watched What Happens Live with Andy Cohen on Bravo. Yeah. And he has like the buzzword that if you're over 21, you should drink every time somebody says it. Anyway, connecting and connections is that's the drink buzzword. if you're not listening to this at 8 a.m. and or you're over 21. Yeah, that's super cool, and that gives them a way to connect before they get there.
Oh, for sure. And so we always kind of say our 3 missions or our 3 pillars at Campus Wink are getting prospective students and their families the real unscripted information on classes, campus culture, Greek life, whatever it may be. The second pillar is providing a way for college students to make a flexible, meaningful income. And then our third pillar is getting Gen Z and Gen Alpha, is that what they're called, after them? We want them using their social skills and their interpersonal skills. And by booking these virtual sessions with these kids, they're in a low pressure environment and they're able to meet a new kid for the first time. And that's just going to give them practice.
Oh, so is this a virtual thing?
So it's both. So the platform is just a really easy way. You pull it up and you click on, the school you're interested in, let's say the University of Michigan, and you click on it and then it pulls up all of our guides at Michigan, and then you can refine them with our filters, and you pull up a guide that makes sense for you. And then you just book either a virtual session, which is like a deep dive 30-minute conversation where you can ask all of the questions, and our guides are just committed to being honest and answering all the questions. Or you can book a virtual tour, which may be, like a dorm tour. If you want to see a real lived-in dorm, it could be that. Or if you're actually able to visit campus, then you can book an in-person tour. So then sometimes the official tours, when you're going to be there, are full or booked, or they're not offered. And so you can use one of our guides. But I still think people need to go on these official tours. They're so important, and some schools have demonstrated interest. And so you want to show them you're interested in their school. So you can just go to the official tour, but then add on one of our tours with a guide who makes sense for you, and go on a VIP personal tour. You can ask them to show you anything and ask all the questions. We just wanted to make a way for everyone. Some people have awesome networks already, but some people don't know anyone, and they should be able to reach out, connect with a kid easily who is already ready, excited, willing to answer all of their questions.
I want to book a tour. I think that'd be so cool to.
Please do.
I want to book one. I'm going to do it. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So how can people find you? I think that I don't know when this will air, but it'll probably be around the time of your launch.
And you can even go there now to www.campuswink.com. And we have a landing page there, and it's where guides can apply. So if you're a current college student, you can go there, and we're always accepting applications. You can go there and apply. And right now it's just a landing page. So if you're interested in being a user, then you can put your email on there. But yeah, our full site will launch about the end of January, and it's at www.campuswink.com. I'm also on Instagram at campuswink, Facebook.
Awesome. That's exciting. Oh, I'm going to book one. I just wrote it down. Campus Wink. I'm going to have to pick a school. I can't wait.
Yeah, we also do for people, we have guides who, let's say we have a guide at Auburn. She's a biochem major. She came from Colorado, and she just, she was a little bit in culture shock when she moved there, and going through the rush process at an SEC school was, a little bit unnerving to her, but she ended up joining a sorority. She loves it. And one of the things she wrote in her application is that I just want to help Northern girls understand what it is like to rush in the South. And so we do have, guidance in that way.
Yeah, that's amazing. And there are so many people coming from the North to the South. So it's, that's really a value. That's a value. So that's very
and for
cool.
The guys, because girls get so much help, but guys, they don't know what's going on.
Yeah. People ask me all the time, do you do this for boys? I'm like, no. And just because that's not my area of expertise, but I think that would be great for guys in particular.
Yeah. So we have, guys like my son is in a fraternity at Alabama, and he has a bunch of friends. And so a lot of his friends are on the site, and you can connect with them and say, like, what is up with, this process? How does it work?
That's really cool. That's awesome. Well, you are amazing. And I'm so grateful that you are here today. And I know that Campus Wink is going to be a success because it's a great idea. And I can't wait to do it too.
Yay. That would be amazing. And I'd love to collaborate, and we can figure something out.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in for sure. Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you for being here. You did great. You're a natural. I look forward to collaborating and connecting, and we'll exchange numbers after this is over.
That would be great. And thank you so much. This is amazing. Thank you for having me on. I can't thank you enough.
Of course. My pleasure. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Mad Rush Podcast. If you are enjoying this podcast, please consider leaving us a 5-star review. For additional Rush tips, updates, and more, please follow me on Instagram at Rush with Confidence. If you would like to reach out to us, or for more information, please email info@madrushpod.com. This podcast is produced by Collier Landry and Don't Touch My Radio. Copyright Trisha Addicks.